The following podcast is recommended for mature audiences only. The following podcast is recommended for adults only. Maturity is not a requirement.
Hello and welcome to episode 15 of Dear Download, a podcast where we get to share our most intimate and treasured memories of Download Festival. We'll talk about each year, the bands we saw, the bands we missed, and everything else noteworthy that happened across the weekend. Also, we'll touch upon any news, other festivals, and music industry, past, present and future. This week, we're talking about Download Festival 2005. I'm Adam and I'm here with Simon.
Hello and good day to you, sir. Good New Year to you, sir. I know it's a bit late, but I haven't said it to you, so
No.
Happy New Year, bro.
No, yeah, so we took a couple of weeks break after our live episode just before Christmas. So this is actually the first time we've spoken since doing that. So how was your Christmas and New Year and everything else? I know we said we were going to try and keep this bit shorter, but we've also got a longer period. But it's fine, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good, man. Really good. I had a good time. Really good time. I had 10 days off, so that was a perfect amount of time to see the fam, see some friends. We had a New Year's party, drunk loads, ate loads. Yeah, it was a generally good overall Christmas, but I don't have anything specific to report. But I had a great time, yeah. But I also like coming back to work because I hate having long periods of time off without any sort of regiment. I like the Monday to Friday work thing because it kind of keeps everything in order. Yeah. And then my evenings I do things and the weekends I do things. So I don't like to be off for too long. 10 days is reaching the limit of the amount of time I would want to be off for not doing anything like work-wise. So yeah. I'm all good, but it was great. How was yours?
That's fair. Yeah, no, it was all good for us. Christmas Day was a long day. It usually is for us. We've got to go and see 3 different houses we usually go to. Because we take the kids, so they want to, see all the family want to see them. So yeah, that was a long day. We sort of left here at sort of 10 in the morning, got back 9:30. But it was nice, Soren is really sort of starting to enjoy Christmas now. He knows all about Santa. Because when they're really young, they don't really know what's going on. So yeah, he understands it now, which is really nice. And we left cookies.
Cool, that's awesome.
And milk out and a carrot for, can't remember his name, carrot for the reindeer.
Yeah.
That was really nice. Yeah, New Year, we didn't do anything special either. Just Jacobs came round and we just played some Rocket League, the 3 of us. It was
awesome. That's wicked.
Yeah. We did quite well, actually, as well. We did really well.
I haven't played Rocket League for a long time. Wow. That's crazy.
Good. I got okay at it. I can do some aerial stuff. I can't dribble in the air, but I can do a bit.
Some people have made entire YouTube careers from just playing Rocket League.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. Mental, isn't it?
Yeah. But that was my Christmas and New Year. I'm still off of work with my foot. It turns out, I can't remember if I said last time we spoke, but it turns out I actually had a fracture in my foot.
Oh, okay. I can't remember if you told me that. I don't think you did tell me that. It must have been after.
Yeah, must have been.
Possibly.
But, so I fractured it. It took a little while longer to recover. It is pretty much there now. So yeah, I'll be going back to work in about a week is when my sick note finishes. So yeah, it turns out I would have had 2 months off.
Jesus. You're going to be like, what's all this walking about?
Well, luckily, when I go back, you remember I said that I applied for a new sort of driving job.
Oh yeah.
It turns out I got that, so I'll be putting my hours up. I'll have a bit more money. I won't be so knackered every time after work. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all right, man. Well done, dude.
Yeah, so it'd be nice to actually have a bit more money again and have the energy to walk Eddie as well. If I didn't walk in before work, then I wasn't doing it after. I have to walk in 12, 14 miles.
I suppose now you'll be driving, you'll actually want to walk. Whereas before you were like, I walk like 14 miles a day or something ridiculous.
Yeah. And in the summer as well, you're out in the sun all day, all day with a van. You can sort of shelter from it. But yeah, Kelly never. Well, remember we had that heat wave. Kelly didn't understand why I didn't want to go out in the garden and sit with her and the kids. Well, I just saw him back then. When I finished work, I was like, I've had enough of it. I just want to sit inside.
Been in the sun the whole fucking day.
Yeah. I do.
No, fair enough, man.
I do need to say, I want to go into a food coma right now. I made some pizzas for tea tonight, and so my brain might just decide to go at some point tonight. You have to fill in the gaps for me. It'll just go, nah, I don't want to work anymore.
If your brain has a shutdown, I'll know. I'll see it slowly happening, and then I'll take over. It's fine.
Yeah, you will. Have you ever had blueberries on pizza?
Blueberries?
Yeah.
What?
It's quite good. There's a famous cartoony song thing on YouTube called Coco Melon that a lot of kids watch these days. It's all songs. It's all like little nursery rhyme songs, and there's a making pizza song, and one of the kids puts blueberries on it, and because Soren saw that, he wanted to make a blueberry pizza for weeks now. So yeah, I said we'll do it next time I make pizzas.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, I like blueberries, so it can't taste that bad.
Yeah,
so
it was all right. Yeah, the blueberries kind of work with the cheese.
Oh God, I might have to shove one on next time, man.
Yeah,
see what it's like. I wouldn't do a whole pizza, but I'd put one on like a slice and then try it.
Yeah. The only other thing I really want to say, I know, like you said, we want to keep this bit short. So, less than half an hour is short for us.
So this is really short.
Yeah. I went to the pub. I went to the pub for the first time on Sunday the first time since before the pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you find it?
Do you know what? It was weird. I was nervous. I don't know why I was nervous.
That is weird.
Yeah, but I mean, I have been out. I've been to two weddings and 2 wakes, like since before the pandemic. But yeah, that was the first time I went out socially, and it was nice, very nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Drinking
good.
in the pub.
To be fair, I've been out quite a lot. I'd say, and as soon as I had the opportunity to go to the pub, even in 2020, I did go. I just like it, but yeah, God, if you haven't been in that long, it would be weird, because it was even weird when you first went back then, even after 6 or 8 months, that was really strange. But I could imagine after 2 years, you're like, what the hell is this place?
Yeah, it was so strange. I don't know. It must have just been that I built it up in my head so much, like the first time going to the pub in over 2 years. Like 20 minutes before I went out, like my stomach was going. I was like, why am I nervous? I'm going to the pub. I've done this many, many times before. It's ridiculous.
I'm sure a lot of people had the same thing, dude.
Yeah.
It's just weird, isn't it? Some stuff just affects your brain strangely, I guess. And yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of people haven't been. There's probably some people still that haven't been back. So
probably, yeah.
You're not even probably one of the last ones.
No. Yeah, cool. I just thought that was worth saying.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, before we go into any news, is there anything you want to anything else you want to say for this first catch-up bit?
No, I have nothing currently new to add.
Cool.
Which makes me sound like a loser. I am a loser.
Well, shall we see if you will finally send me a news clip for this next news section?
I forgot about that. I will. I actually started to write one, and I got like halfway through it, and then Christmas happened, and I was like, "Yeah, this isn't going to happen." So yeah. Here's the news. Here's the news bit that I made that will become the news bit of the show. 3, 2, 1, go.
Awesome. Do you know what? I don't actually have any news. No, well, I mean, I'm sure there's lots of stuff that's happened, but I forgot that we do a news section, so I didn't really think about it today to remember what's happened or write stuff down as it was happening.
Yeah, the news is it's a new year, and soon we will have news from the year that we are currently in. Currently, we have no news from the new year that we are currently in. End of news segment. move on.
Well, before you do that, I was gonna. There's one thing actually. Did I write it down or no, why am I going on Instagram? Don't go on Instagram. Did I just put it in my notes?
Instagram.
Yes. I don't know if this was some kind of a scam or they had paid for comments, but like I had a sponsored. It was a sponsored post come up on my Facebook a couple of weeks back now, from a band called Ocean Fire, and
Okay.
but going through their comments, there was loads and loads, absolutely loads of comments saying, "Oh, I'll check you out," or "Added to my playlist," or "I've just checked you out, thought you're awesome." And I thought, people aren't that generous anymore. You know, I don't see people being randomly generous to bands they'd never heard of. However bad that sounds, it just doesn't seem to happen anymore. And I was like, why is it so different for them? Are they that good? Or, you know, it just felt like they had paid for comments. Have you heard about anything like that before or seen?
Well, you'd pay to have the ad sponsored because
Yeah.
you do that because it'll say, you know, what sort of age range do you want to reach, what do you want them to like. You know, say you're a metal band, it will say people interested in music, age between, I don't know, whatever you want, and then it will just send that out. But I've never heard of anyone paying for comments before.
No.
I mean, they could get people to comment. I'm not sure if you could pay for comment. Maybe they are genuine comments.
Maybe, but
Well, it's easy. What you do is you click on the person's profile. You can tell straight away if it's an actual profile or if it's something rubbish.
yeah, that's a good point. Didn't think of that at the time.
You might have to do a little bit of Facebook stalking to find out if this is a real thing or.
Yeah, because I mean, they must exist. Like you hear of all these like Russian, Russian farms, Russian account farms, and people pay for likes and shares and Instagram followers. So I wondered if there's a one for comments.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. Someone out there might know, but I do not know the answer. I wouldn't think so, but to be honest, on social media, it wouldn't surprise me. No. So it probably is true.
Cool.
There probably is someone out there.
Yeah, that was the only thing that really came to mind with news, or something I wanted to just sort of bring up at some point.
Yeah, the only bit of news today is Loathe released a new song, which I haven't listened to.
Yeah.
So I've got nothing on it. They released a track, apparently. What else have I got news coming? Oh, a band I like very much called Modern Era. Their album's coming out this month on the 22nd, I believe. So I'm looking forward to that. So,
cool.
And that's all the news I have.
Well, I suppose the other news we can talk about is so many bands are cancelling their tours at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which
big
is
time.
Gutting. Normally I wouldn't care, but I'm going to see a band next month for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I really hope they don't cancel, dude.
Yeah.
I really hope so. Well, I had Funeral for a Friend. It was Funeral for a Friend, Holden Absence and Static Dress. And that was end of this month. Yeah. And they pushed that back to April now.
Yeah.
And it's the shit thing is the days changed. So we booked the tickets because it was a Friday.
Right.
And now the gig's on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, great.
Yeah.
So it's just so now we're going to try and get tickets for one of the other dates because we don't want to go on we would go into a gig on a Sunday, but, you know, we want to do loads of shit and get excited. So
yeah.
Fucking 8 Sunday gigs.
Yeah.
I know that's horrible to say. Even at Download, I'm like, what are they playing on the Sunday? You don't really, it's not too bad when there, but you in the back of your mind, you're always thinking it's the Sunday.
Yeah.
It's the worst day to play.
Yeah.
Sorry, air quotes. I said worst day to play. It's not, but yeah, it is in my brain. But
no,
yeah.
I know what you mean.
So hopefully they don't cancel, man. Like a lot of stuff's been done, but I mean, I got Paradise Lost tickets for February, so I hope they don't cancel either. So
yeah, nice.
We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, do you know that Funeral for a Friend gig it sold out a long time ago, didn't it? I'm sure it must have. But I've listened to. I keep thinking Higher Power, but it's not. It's Holding Absence. Every time I try and think of Holding Absence, Higher Power gets in my head. But yeah, I've listened to it a few times now, and I do really quite like their stuff. I've still not checked out Static Dress.
I thought you would because the reason they're supporting Funeral is they've got that kind of vibe, a little bit something else, but sort of in that kind of wheelhouse. And we were talking before about how much we like funerals. So I thought you would like them. So I'm glad that you listened to them. And they're a perfect fit to play under Funeral for a Friend at a gig. So
Yeah.
that works perfectly.
Awesome.
You're getting into a new band.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God. My mind is blown.
Well, we're coming back from somewhere with the kids, and Kelly was in charge of the music. She doesn't really put that much on, but I told her to put on, what are they called? Female-fronted new band, Under something, and Under. I can't remember. It'll come back to me at some point during this
Okay.
episode, and I'll just shout it out randomly when
Yes,
it
do
does
it.
come back to me.
That's exactly how I like my answers. Way after they're actually supposed to come and shouted directly at me.
Good.
That is exactly how I like them. Perfect.
But yeah, no, there's been a few bands I've got into recently.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, going back to the gig I said I'm going to was obviously Saliva. I've spoken about it many times on here so far. Yeah, it turns out I can go to it. You know, I didn't want to bring up anything negative, but they're playing at the Cobblestones here, and I actually fell out with the guy who runs it, or the owner, about 3 years ago now. On a personal level, you know, he does a fantastic job at what he does. I think Cobblestones is quite a famous venue for probably the most of the UK now, by the sounds of it.
Everyone I know in a band has played there.
Yeah,
Like, it's just one of the venues you have to play. It's on
Yeah.
the circuit, basically. Yeah, pretty much.
yeah. So yeah, like I said, it was on a personal level. You know, it was nothing to do with the pub. But I mean, because I've known him for a long time. You know, I've said that they played here in 2001 with Stone Sour. It was actually 2003. So that's something I need to correct. But Graham, who runs the Cobblestones, actually went to that gig and brought me back a Saliva T-shirt. You know, that's
Amazing.
how long we've known each other. You know, he's been to most download festivals with me. Obviously, like I said, we fell out about 3 years ago. And then, so when Saliva said they put out that they're going to be playing there, I was like, oh crap, am I even going to be able to go? So, but I've spoken to him a few times recently, and it's all good. So yes, I will go to the ball.
Yes, I can't wait to see your glimmery little face light up.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Because the other thing I did want to say about it was Graham obviously knows how much it means to me to be able to go to the gig, and so he's extended a kindness towards me that he didn't have to, you know, because he knows how much it means to me. Whereas he could have said, no, I can't go in the pub, because he knows how much it means to me. Just to sort of twist the what's the right word? Twist a nail. That's not twist a nail.
Twist the knife, mate.
Twist a knife. Yeah.
Or was that a bit too much?
I-
Maybe it's
yeah,
not a knife. Maybe it was.
knife.
Maybe it was just a nail,
Yeah,
a screw. It
screw,
wasn't. It
twist
wasn't
a
a.
screw.
It wasn't
I
a
don't know.
knife. That's too bad.
But yeah, so like I said, I didn't want to bring it up because it was negative before, but now it's positive again with me and him. But no,
Yeah, man. I'm just happy you can go, dude.
yeah,
I'm absolutely buzzing for you, mate.
yeah, me too. Just as long as they play now, you know, it's
Well,
just
I mean,
about
I
5
literally
weeks.
just googled any news on it. It looks like it's all going ahead at the moment. So I mean, there are still gigs going on in February. There are a lot of bands cancelling. I don't know if that's for a mix of reasons or them just predicting what they think is going to happen, but I'm sure gigs in February, well, fingers crossed, will be okay. So
Yeah, that's a good point actually you bring up, because I suppose all people are hearing about at the moment is the bands that are cancelling. There's probably, like you said, lots of bands that aren't cancelling that just doesn't get into the news. It doesn't, because they haven't cancelled. Yeah, so it just feels like everyone's cancelling. But yeah, they've cancelled the European part of the tour. I can't remember. I think it was before they come here. So they should be there at the moment.
Well, it still looks like it's they arrive on February the 19th, and they don't leave the UK until well after that.
Yeah, they're playing
here for quite a
every
while,
single
so-
day
Yeah,
over here. They're not taking a single day break either.
Yeah, man. Sweet.
Ridiculous.
It's going to be awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. So, yeah, sorry. We were going to finish the news about 10 minutes ago, and then I brought up more stuff. So, shall we get
Again,
into...
we got over. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's get into the main topic today because, like you said, we've got lots to talk about today.
Mm-hmm. We do.
And let's invite Ronnie in here.
Ronnie, give it to me, baby.
Oh, that was awful.
That's
That was
fine.
really, really awful.
Symphony Download!
Well, so
Oh, yeah, good.
So yeah, download 2005. It was your first year.
Oh, it was indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll go into the comments we got later on. We'll talk about it first, and then I'll get people's. But let's just say, a lot of the comments we got on Facebook were a lot of the comments I saw was, "This was my first year. This was my first year." There was a lot of comments that started with, "This is my first year."
Yeah.
So I think in our sort of age range of people, not everyone necessarily went the first 2 years, but it seems like 2005 was well, I mean, the lineup's insane, but would have been a big draw for people to go. So it's a lot of people's first downloads as well.
Yeah.
And this was your third. You were you were like, oh my god, like I've just been going for ages now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, it was the third download. My fourth time at Donington Park consecutively. And I was like, noobs. What are you doing? First time? No, I wasn't. Yeah, no. So
Bloody noobs.
you won't be surprised to hear that I don't remember a lot about this year. More
To
stuff...
be honest, no, me neither.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. Some things have come back to
I've
me.
reminded myself of things, and some of people's comments we'll do later have reminded me of other things, and also things I didn't know, which is interesting.
Yeah, well,
But-
you told me not to read
Yeah.
them. Oh, now you're going to sound much better than me. Well, you're better than me.
Well, no, I had a quick flick to pick someone's because I'll go to the number later, but we had a hell of a lot of comments, and I can't read them all out on the show because we could do a whole podcast
No.
just reading about it. So I've only picked some to go through.
Yeah,
but,
that's fine. Well, I did see how many there were. I was thinking we could we'll bring back what's it called, Campsite Fuckery for it. And you just read them out during Campsite Fuckery, and the ones that we can't say today, I mean, we can bring up in the next few episodes anyway because we're not gonna talk about.
I'll just reveal
2006
now.
for a
We
little
had
while.
109 comments. Now that is a hell of a lot. So
Yeah.
first of all, thank you to everyone who commented because it was great. And it was great that for once the download page didn't take down our post about our podcast,
Yeah,
even though it's about Download Festival. So please help us campaign to them not to take our posts down. We can't share any episodes or anything on their page because they won't allow it, apparently. No self-promotion,
No.
even though we're promoting something that's to do with the page, but whatever. Let's not
Yeah.
get into it. I'll start getting angry again.
So, before you carry on, so I just want to say as well, if you don't know what Simon's talking about, we've said this a few times. We've said this a few times. We need to get better at doing this. Just talking about something without saying what exactly it was. But yeah, Simon. So Simon was able to post in the Download Festival Facebook page. You know, the big bastard one.
It's a group, yeah.
Yes, sorry, group. And I've been told once, but I've seen other people's posts get taken down for self-promotion. But Simon thought he'd chance it and ask basically what people remembered about 2005. And like you said, it stayed up. So
It stayed up,
yeah.
yeah. And got a lot of traction. They must have seen that it got loads, so... Well, it wasn't like listen to our podcast. It was a legitimate question. Like, we really want to know what you think about 2005. We're going to read these out on
yeah,
the podcast. So if you comment, let's talk about it and stuff. And there was so many. I was replying to like the first 50, and then there was so many. I was like, I cannot reply to all these people myself. Like, it's crazy. So
Yeah.
I went in and tried to like as many and respond to as many as I could, but I was overwhelmed by the amount. It was great, and we got loads of likes on the page. And I wasn't
Yeah.
doing it just for that. We genuinely just wanted to know what people remember from Download 2005 because we don't really remember that much.
yeah,
So it's going to help the podcast out loads.
yeah,
but,
definitely. And
but
like
yeah.
I said, it'll help our memories as well. Help jog our memories. I've read my book today, or most of the book. Of
Yes.
2005. I had to make the pizza dough, so I didn't get around to finishing it. It's been quite a busy day. But yeah, I got a couple. I think there's one at least cool thing I want to read out from that.
Okay.
I've been on the Wayback Machine as well, looking at the
Nice.
2005 website and what it looked like back then.
You're a good man. What is it? What did it look like? What colours was it?
Yellowish, yellow and grey. But the
It was
stage
yellow,
was
yeah.
yellow.
Yeah. Well, I got some things to say about that stage.
Yeah.
Just some things that are different. Okay, so we'll start from the beginning, right? I wasn't even supposed to go to Download, right? So the first one had happened 2003. I obviously really wanted to go, but I couldn't afford it. I mean, 2003, I can't remember how old I was, but, I was still living at home, no money, just about working, earning crap money. 2004, I remember I really wanted to go again, but no one wanted to go with me, so I didn't go. And then 2005, my girlfriend at the time bought me a ticket for my birthday. So I was like, I told her how much I wanted to go. I wasn't expecting her to buy me a ticket. So she bought me the whole ticket. So she bought both us tickets, which is like, 250 quid then. I think it's like 130 quid the tickets were back then.
Yeah.
But still, it's quite a lot of money. It was a great present. And also she handed me tickets to the Metal Hammer Golden God Awards, which was the day after. I was like, literally, still to this day, it's one of the best presents anyone has ever got me.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I'd never been to a metal festival before. I was so excited. I couldn't believe she got me these two things. A metal festival and a metal awards show. Like,
Yeah.
for someone who loved it and never had been before. So I was absolutely buzzing. I remember my mum was like, oh, amazing. Yeah, you got to go. It's going to be great. And none of my friends went. It was literally just me and her went with some people that she knew.
Yeah.
So it was just such a weird experience. I still remember, this is one of my most vivid Download memories, walking in, handing my ticket over, and friggin' Destroy the Map by 36 Crazy Fist was being played over what was then Download Radio.
Yeah.
They had their own
remember
little
that.
radio station on site, and they were playing that through the speakers as you walked in. And that's just that song now, whenever I hear Destroy the Map, gives me goosebumps because
Huh.
I remember just, the first time you go to Download, if you haven't been before, this is going to be your first year. It's so overwhelming at first. You don't really know you can't absorb everything. It takes you a few days to kind of get your bearings because it's just so like nothing you've ever seen before. And I just remember that feeling to this day. Like, I'm getting goosebumps now just talking about it. Just that
Nice.
song, walking in and just being like, this is something I've always wanted to come to.
Yeah.
And I finally got the chance to go. It was literally one of the most exciting days ever, like I've ever had. I was so happy. And 2005, I know we always talk about weather. 2005 and 2006 were absolute scorchers.
Yeah, I do remember that. Well, I remember.
Actually, I've got a fact. I got a fact about that. I got a fact about that.
Go on then.
The Saturday in 2005 Download was the hottest day of the year
Was it?
in 2005.
Bloody hell! Did you find
Yeah,
that
it was-
online, or is that what somebody said?
No, that was on. It was. I was going through like blog posts from 2005,
Yeah.
and this guy who wrote this blog had done it, and then I went on and I was like, oh, let's check that. Yep,
Nice.
hottest day. So hottest day of the year 2005 was the Saturday, the June, but it was hot anyway. I remember
Yeah.
it being just absolutely scorching the entire time, and I didn't bring any sunscreen or anything, and I went home very, very sunburned.
Yeah.
But
Just
but anyway,
imagine-
what do you?
Just imagine saying that
sorry.
to someone who's only been recently and only knows the rain. You know?
Well, actually, someone said on there, someone said in one of the comments, like, 2005, that was in the good weather days. And I was like, yes, everything post 2010 has been shocking.
Yeah.
Everything pre 2010, pretty much for the most part, was incredible weather.
Yeah.
It's really weird how like those 10 years were just really bad. Hopefully now it's reverted. So 2022 is like the start of a new, fresh weather regime.
Maybe. Yeah.
Probably not,
No.
though. It's just global warming just catching up.
Yeah.
In 2005, it wasn't affecting us as much. But do you have any memories from like going or getting there, or do you have anything from right at the beginning?
Not from walking in, but it's a bit weird. So, I think I've said a few times, the first year I went with just my friend's brother and his friend, And then I had a few more friends come, and then a few more from college. So, yeah, 2004 onwards for about 5 or 6 years, there was always absolutely loads of us, probably close to 20, 25.
It's a good number.
Is it about that many? No, let's say 20 maximum, 15 to 20 of us.
That's still a decent group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was, so there was a sort of a core group, and then there was probably 5, 7 or 8, something like that. Not interchangeable. That's an awful word.
Interchangeable
to
people.
use
Yeah, I'm
for
done with
people.
you now. Where's the next one? Bring him in. I want to talk to this guy.
Yeah, like, and I struggle to remember which years which people came. So I have some memories of like certain people being there, and I can remember where we camped. And I think it was this year that I'm thinking of. Yeah, we had a friend. Well, he wasn't really a friend. He hung out with us. He was a bit weird. Called Randolph. And he was drinking his own mead that he'd made, but he was a bit crazy. He was.
Sounds like a legend.
I don't even know what he's doing now. He's disappeared. I think he sectioned himself at one point.
Off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Some people do that. To be honest, right? Apart from my girlfriend at the time, I don't remember any of the people's names we were there with.
Yeah.
I literally only really met them that weekend. One of them I'd met in a bar in like Watford. He was one of her friends. I cannot remember any of their names, but that was the only time I spent any. That was it. It was the only time we spent together.
Yeah.
After that, I never saw them again. We probably broke up like less than a year later. So yeah, I never got to see these people ever again. So that's quite sad because I'm like, in 2006, it was me and all my mates for like 6 years going.
Yeah.
But that year it was just me. So I was just like, okay, you guys are cool. I preferred going with my friends, but yeah, it was still good. And like you said about the camping thing, I could tell you, we'll have to do this, right? When we go to download, which will be our first download together, which is going to be incredible, me and you are going to walk around the campsites.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we won't be able to now because Blue Camp's moved.
Oh, no.
I was going to say, I could show you in Blue Camp every single place exactly I've camped every year.
Yeah.
I remember all of them.
I don't remember all of mine. That's crazy. Because like it all looks the same pretty much, Blue Camp. Or that end. You go further through blue to white, don't you? Maybe. But like, I've been in red when it was red, when it had like the two sort of big tracks running down through it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I remember where we were there, and then we was in gold, which is now possibly yellow.
It's yellow, yeah.
Yeah, and
the one with the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yellow. Well, it was yellow. I don't know. I can't even remember what it was last time we went.
Yeah.
I don't even. It's only 19. I couldn't tell you what it was. Like they moved everything around so much now. I get lost.
But yeah, like there was a couple of places in there that we camped, which I probably remember roughly where we were. But yeah, like everything, like the blue, because the blue. I suppose if you were camped in there, you would remember. Whereas I didn't camp in there, so I'd go in, I'd look like all the different tracks, and go, well, I don't know where I am now. I suppose.
Well, blue was the best because if you're listening to this and you don't know, Download Festival, the arena site used to be in the middle of the racetrack. So where blue is, you'd literally go out, walk just through the village, walk in a straight line, and you were pretty much at the arena because it was right at the front. So blue was a great campsite to do. Even with that, when they changed it, blue still was one of the good ones. I know it wasn't quite as close, but for those years before they moved it, blue was like the best one because it was pretty much right there. I think that's the only reason we camped there at the time. We had no idea. We were just like, this looks fine. We'll just go in here. As it turns out, I'd camp in that place until, 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 16, 17, 18, and 19. This is why I'm so gutted that Blue Camp, there is no Blue Camp anymore. That's where you're going to park your car. Yeah. Because they've moved it all, further to the west. So I'm one of the sad orphans of Blue Camp. Yeah. I'm going to be very sad seeing people's cars parked on it.
Hey, but at least when we're in the arena, you can tell me where you camped. I've never camped in the arena.
I can after the pilot. Dude, I took a picture. I'm going to line it up. Yeah. And we're going to be standing exactly where I camped for the pilot. That'd be awesome. If you don't know, for the pilot, guys, you kind of camped pretty much where the where the arena would be. So you're pretty much standing where you would watch bands normally for download. But yeah, that was a really weird thing. But anyway, we're getting off track. So yes, so yeah, I just like my memories from it are just ones of me just being baffled by how drunk everyone was, how late everyone was partying. There's bands playing. There's thousands of like. My mind was just like that Tim and Eric clip where you see him going. That's exactly what my brain was doing the whole time. Obviously, by this time you'd been to Donington 4 times, but you'd been to Download 3. So you must have just been bopping around like, all right, you all right? You all right? I think, cool, I'm used to this.
Yeah, no, I think I was still getting my bearings. I didn't know the whole site that well. Not like I do now. Like I pretty much know where everything is now, which is it's weird. I hope it doesn't sound like a boast, but like I've just been so many times. I know where I am most of the time, I don't really get lost. But at the time I wasn't, and I'm pretty sure, we used to, we used to just walk around the campsites talking to people. We haven't really done that for a long time. Do you know, I was gutted that nobody ever wanted to do it anymore. And I was like, I missed that. So going back to what you were saying about camping, there was one year, it wasn't 2005, it was much more recent than that. But as you're looking at Blue, from, if you say coming back from the arena, if you're looking at Blue from outside, if you go around to the left behind where the
Funhouse is,
there's another colour campsite round to the left of it, isn't there? I think it might have been red.
That's the other way. It's not attached to Blue though,
isn't it? Okay,
no,
I thought it was right next to it. But I'll probably forget about it when we get there. So we decided to camp in there one year, but we were really close to the tracks, really, really close to the village. And there was this one ride, I swear, like I was trying to go to sleep, probably the Saturday night, Friday or whatever, it is irrelevant. They played Drowning Pool Bodies every 3 songs. I heard it so many times that night. I think they might have switched up the other 2 songs a bit, but they just kept putting it on and it was so annoying.
Oh man!
But, sorry, that's what came to my head as you were talking about camping in Blue.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
I like that we're jogging each other's memories with stuff.
Yeah.
Talking of rides, I remember the one that spins round and you stick to the side.
Yeah.
They don't have that anymore because it's probably too dangerous. But they had that there this year, and that was one of that year. That was one of my other memories. Was going on that with my girlfriend and we were really pissed up, and she's like, let's go on a ride. I'm like, yeah, great. And I was like, I'm definitely gonna be sick. I don't think I did puke, but and like you were talking about walking around the festival, I didn't explore any of the festival that year because I was just so mind blown and caught up with stuff, where now I walk around the whole site, but we're like Download old school guys where we have to try and nose around and see everything and we want to know all the info, but then I couldn't give a fuck about that. I was just like, I just want to get drunk with these guys and hang out and like just absorb up all the fun. I wasn't going to go walk to anyone else's campsite. Like, forget that.
Yeah.
But it was just mind blowing. I remember it just being overall just like, wow, I can't believe that I'm here and this is happening. I wrote down some stuff as well that I remembered. Okay, so the yellow stage.
Yeah. Right? Go on then.
Now I look back at videos and I remember at the time, compared to now, right? So now the side of the stage is like all screen, so you can see.
Yeah.
The screens then were fucking tiny. I was looking back at videos the other day. I was like, how could you even see what was going on unless you were like right by the stage? Because the screens were, those type of screens weren't quite what they are today. They weren't used, in the same way. So the screen was really small, like compared to for today's standards.
Yeah.
So I just remember thinking, oh my God, what the hell? That's so tiny. Like, you have to be right. But I guess they wanted people to get forward. And back then, people necessarily wouldn't stand there and watch a screen, and they wouldn't be looking at their phones either, because phones were shite in 2005.
Yeah.
So everyone would just be trying to get as close as possible and go as mental as possible. So yeah.
I wonder.
But, I also remember. Go on.
I wonder if that's what the radio was for. I mean, I'm sure you could get radio on the phones back then. So I wonder if that's why they did the Download radio.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember the radio being really good. They like had all the people on that were playing the festival.
Yeah.
The interviews and stuff. They'd play loads of stuff. They played loads of like new music for like the first time. The radio was awesome. It's such a shame they got rid of it. I don't know what year they got rid of that. I remember it being up to like possibly 2009, 10, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe they got rid of it around that time, but I still remember it
Maybe they
being a thing.
maybe they put the
'Cause,
money
you could walk
into the app.
you could walk past it. Do you remember? It was in like a little truck,
No,
and you could walk past it, and it said download
I
radio.
don't remember. I probably saw it.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember it that well.
Yeah, you did. But it was one of those anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But like I said, maybe
Another
maybe
thing-
they put that
go on.
money into making the app. So they got rid of their radio
yeah.
to make the app that people have every year now.
yeah, it's just a shame, like, you know, because I read a thing the other day that loads of people are still listening to the radio in general. So it's just a shame they got rid of it. But oh well, people are, you know, no one's going to tune in now on their phone, are they? Just going to be
No.
scrolling through Facebook or whatever. Not having a go, just saying that's just the way it is. I remember as well, like, I'd never seen this before. I'd obviously been to a shit ton of normal gigs where you'd get the occasional beer thrown at you or something.
Yeah.
But I'd never just seen thousands of bottles just being thrown from all directions before. And I, like, first of all, I was like, this is mental. I remember looking up and just a sea of bottles. I just remember, like, just bottles going from, like, all over the place, inside, outside, doesn't matter. There were bottles being thrown.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like, I couldn't handle all the bottle throwing. I was just always like, shit, I'm gonna get hit by a bottle.
But see, now you've said that, I've said I obviously witnessed that in 2003. And if I remember correctly, I was a bit of a dick in 2004, 2005. Well, maybe not a dick is the right term, but like talking as if I knew stuff. Like I knew exactly what was going on, much more experienced than people. Not like talking down to them, but I remember, like, I always tried to answer things, even if I didn't know the answer. Like when, maybe jumping it forward a bit, but do you remember Bowling for Soup had these massive inflatable sheep on stage?
Yeah.
I was just talking to
Yeah,
somebody, and they were like, "Oh, I wonder who's on next." And I was like, "It's probably Lamb of God," because they were sheep. I just the confidence I spoke, and I was like, "Oh, I'm fucking wrong, aren't I?"
Lamb of God, yeah, they always play with sheep on the stage. That's
And there was another time,
great.
I think it must have been in 2004, so I missed it for that episode. But I think it was when Machine Head played, and they finished, and I was talking to the people around me, going, "Oh, they can't have finished yet. They didn't play Davidian. They had played Davidian. I just didn't fucking know the song well enough." Like I was an idiot. I tried to be too confident at that point, I think. So
I liked it though. You were trying your best to be helpful. It just wasn't quite panning out for you, but that's
Yeah.
fine. Now you really are a seasoned download professional,
yeah,
and you have the knowledge. You also have the knowledge to not say anything when you don't know the actual answer,
yeah,
which is the most important bit, really.
yeah.
I like it. I'm going to ask you so many questions this year. I want you to answer all of them.
I will, just maybe not correctly.
I was just saying performances over the weekend that really stuck out for me. I remember Trivium being absolutely incredible. This was like the gig that made them in the UK. Like when they started because they were playing the second stage,
Third.
and for some reason I think it was like Ozzy really liked them or something,
Yeah.
and they got moved to open the Ozfest day. And Jesus,
Yeah.
that was a gig and a half. That was absolutely immense. They blew everyone away. I was just one of the people that was just blown away by them.
I was there.
But we'll talk about it later because a lot of people mentioning
Yeah.
that in the
I
comments.
was
and stuff.
actually there for that one. It's not.
Yes.
So if you knew, it's not very often. I've said before, it's not very often that I actually make it in for the first band. Back then, apparently I did. Yeah, I actually was there for Trivium. I can't. Yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
like people. Oh yeah, sorry, we'll talk about air. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just going through quickly what I remember. I remember Society 1 obviously playing with the singer who was like hooked up by the flesh and swinging and singing because that was good. I quite liked them at the time. I remember Slipknot being really good. It's like just the Subliminal Verses. Subliminal Verses has only been out like a while. This might have been like the first sort of tour they'd done on it, if I'm not mistaken. And they were really, really good. I also remember Feeder being really good, but I also remember no one being there.
Yeah.
Like, I remember thinking, this is really empty. And I'd never been to a festival before, but in the day it was busy, but in the evening it wasn't that busy for them. But I like Feeder, so I was fine with it. It was the best time I've ever seen System of a Down. They were immense. They were really, really good. I've even looked back at some of the videos on YouTube, and it's really, really good. But then again, like we talked about System, it's when they actually had new material, so weren't just pining off the last 15 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember Lordi being really good in the tent. It was the first time I'd seen Lordi.
Good, yeah.
They were excellent. They played the next year as well. I think they played 2006, and they were really good as well. And then I remember Bullet for My Valentine. Obviously, they just released the album, or was this still on? I'm not sure if this just released The Poison or this was still on the EP, but it still to this day, it was one of they were so hot coming off this like EP. Like,
Yeah.
it's the most people I've ever seen queue outside HMV in London for a band that had 4 songs.
Yeah.
Like, people were queuing for hours to see this band, which just shows you how much they blew up in 2004-5.
Yeah. What was there? I think I'm thinking of Funeral for a Friend. It wasn't.
No, so it
Always
was
Just For Your
there was the
Name,
Bullet for Valentine. No, Hand of Blood was on it. So there was it was just called Bullet for My Valentine,
Okay.
if I remember. And then The Poison came out after, which obviously was a huge hit. But I just remember at that gig, people just going, and I mean literally going mental
Yeah.
for Bullet for My Valentine. Like, it was insane to see like a new band doing so well, because they were like brand new at the time. It was crazy. But that was one of my like biggest, most vivid memories. But that's I don't really remember that much from the camping or thing, and that's the only stuff I really remember from the gigs. I remember Mudvayne playing Happy. I've got a really weird, vivid memory of me standing in the crowd and them playing Happy and me singing it a lot. But apart from
I
that,
remember that. Just.
I don't really remember too much. So I'm glad that people gave us their comments with remembering way more than we do. But do you have any other memories from the year before we go through the lineup?
Well, let's go back into Trivium, because like I was saying, I'm pretty sure that their album was out before that, wasn't it? Ascendancy.
It was, yeah, it was,
And
yeah.
I think I must have had it. I must have absolutely loved it. Well, I did, but I must have loved it before they played. Because I remember, we just sat there waiting for him to come on, and when they came on stage, everyone just stood up and ran. Do you remember that? Everyone just running towards the stage. I was like, what's going on? This is weird. But yeah, they were so good. I watched, there's a video on YouTube actually of them doing, not Pull Harder, the other one.
Oh, is it like Light to Flies?
No, the gun one.
Gunshot to the Head of Trepidation.
Gunshot to the Head, yeah. And I had Nova just fallen asleep on me on the sofa, and I was headbanging. And I was headbanging at home on my own, and that's weird for me. I never do that, but like, I really got into it. Almost 20 years old video, and it was still good.
When they came out, I remember when they came out there, when I heard like Light to Flies, and then I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And listened to the album, I was like, these guys are going to be the new Metallica. Like, that's what everyone genuinely thought at the time. That's why everyone was going so crazy, because people were genuinely saying this band are like incredible. Like, there's been nothing like this for ages, like this good in metal wise, and I remember as well, I remember just being really excited about seeing them. I was sure both of us were absolutely, but if you were to go back and take like a picture of both of us, we were probably buzzing for that gig, because it was absolutely immense. Still to this day, I think one of the best performances I've ever seen at Download. Definitely top 10. Wouldn't make my top 5, but top 10 for sure.
Yeah. Do you know, one thing that struck me actually was he wasn't singing it like it's on the CD. Well, on the video from from not 2003, 2005. Wasn't I? I'm an idiot. I said 2003 a minute ago. Yeah, he was singing it completely differently, and you don't really see bands do that often anymore. Maybe he couldn't sing it properly at the time, but like, it gave it a different feel. So it was like him doing their own song, but differently, live,
slightly differently. Oh, I'm gonna check that out, man. I watched little clips, but
there's actually quite a lot of videos on YouTube from 2005. I haven't watched any more of them. I ran out of time today, but
they recorded a lot though. I remember Download, and they were doing like an MTV thing and a Kerrang thing. So I think a lot of it was recorded, and now the clips are finally surfacing after all these years.
Yeah, awesome. There was that was about all I can remember at the moment. I was kind of expecting to remember a bit more as we go through the lineup. I had a quick look through it earlier, but yeah, like talking about it as well, I think it's going to come back. But there was a couple of things I wanted to talk about from the book that I have that I said about.
Okay,
I
sweet.
think it was just that. From basically what I found. So it was sold out. There was the camping was sold out. There were 45,000 weekend camping tickets, and it sold out. I'm sure there's a hell of a lot more than that now.
Way more than that.
Yeah.
Way more.
Snickers ran an unsigned competition, and then it was won by the Mascara Story. I assume loads of bands put in online or something, and they actually had to play a gig in London somewhere.
Oh yeah, it would have been kind of like Metal to the Masses now, where everyone has to sign a battle out to play Bloodstock.
Yeah, but I think it was only the final that was played live. I suppose they just listened to their EPs to decide who gets to the final.
Yeah, that's sick.
There was you could get free Guinness in exchange for 2 bags of rubbish that you collected. I didn't know they were doing that kind of scheme back then. They obviously had the cup people who went around collecting cups for money, but I didn't realise they did it this early.
Well, the thing about it is, right, if you look back at pictures and videos and that, right, it's not like it is now. If people think Download now is covered in rubbish, you should have seen it like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The place was a shit hole.
Crazy. Sorry.
The place was a shithole. There was rubbish everywhere.
Yeah. I don't remember.
It was covered in crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I just didn't look down. But yeah, so you got one can of Guinness if you collected a bag of plastic bottles and a bag of cans. So it's not the best incentive, but I mean, it is a good enough incentive. Well, obviously not good enough if it was that bad for rubbish. It should have offered 2 cans.
Yeah. There was enough rubbish. You could have filled up a bag in anywhere in about a minute.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And I don't think I ever went to this, but there was the Aftershock Arena returned in 2005.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
That was going to be one of the things I pointed out in the comments. People saying, "Do you remember the Aftershock tent?" And I was like, "What the was the Aftershock tent? I don't remember that."
No. So I'll say what I wrote down, and we'll see what other people actually experienced. But
okay.
So they had circus performers, bouncing Beyonce castle. You could bounce on Beyonce's tracts of land.
Oh my god.
Podium dancers, water fights, toilet racing, hot tubs. They actually supplied towels and swimming stuff to go in the hot tubs.
Amazing.
A human harp. I should have Roten. I should have written his name down. And cold beers. No mention of Aftershock.
They were just a sponsor.
Yeah.
They didn't want you to have any actual Aftershock.
No, people will be wasted. And there was one other thing. I'll read this out now because I will forget it when I get to it. But from the book, there was one little quote that I wanted to read out. It's from Jarrett Reddick from Bowling for Soup. And he says, "Our second experience at the Download was totally different. We played the main stage in the middle of the afternoon and had an amazing show. We had a blow-up sheep thrown on stage and a banana, and we did things to the sheep with a banana." I don't really remember that.
I remember watching Bowling for Soup and pissing myself laughing. They were so funny. It was ridiculous. I still remember him saying like, "Oh, because you could see like all of the food trucks on the side."
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, "Someone go get me some fish and chips." He's like, "I want some fish and chips." So it's like trying to get people to get fish and chips. And then there was a naked guy on someone's back, and he's like, "Yeah, that guy's neck comes with free dick cheese." And he was just saying all this stuff, and everyone was just wetting themselves. They were really on point that day.
Yeah.
I think that might have been the first and last time I've ever seen Bowling for Soup.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing them really. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching them. That was good fun.
that seems like a good place to stop. Shall we head over and talk about the lineup a little bit?
Yeah, they're going to head over now. We're going to look at the lineup. So while you listen to this, if you want to get the lineup on your phone or your screen or whatever, that'd be great. Then we can all go through it together. Like a nice little download family. On the bottom, it says sponsors: Napster, Nintendo DS, Kerrang, Clear Channel, EA Sports, HMV, Aftershock. Apparently, those were the sponsors of download.
Weird.
And obviously, they got Snickers, but it's not on the bottom. Yeah, Nintendo DS and EA Sports. There must have been some sort of gaming thing there.
Oh, there was.
Something.
Yeah, this was.
I don't remember. I don't remember a gaming tent.
It was up on the left-hand side. So after you're looking at the main stage.
Oh, in
you
the
sort of
exhibition
go up-
centre
Not really.
near the old Dunlop tyre.
No, I don't
Oh,
remember. I don't know.
I remember them having something in the little exhibition centre next door, but I never knew what it was.
I think they might have had
Like
stuff.
I said, at this time, I didn't really investigate.
Yeah, they might have had stuff inside. They did have stuff inside, but I don't think I really went in there. I remember them having the ball of death or whatever it's called, where you got like 3 motorbikes going around in this
Oh, yeah,
kind of
yeah.
ball, and there was like,
They still have that now, you know. They still do that.
do they?
Yeah, they've had that for a few years.
Yeah.
I remember they had it in 2016. They had it in a couple. They always do motorbike stuff.
Yeah.
I guess motorbike stuff and rock and metal goes hand in
Yeah.
hand, doesn't it? So it makes sense there. But you're right about the what you said about the tickets. It says, or on the bottom of the one that I've got, this must be a late post, says camping tickets sold out, weekend tickets still available but selling fast, and day tickets still available. Limited number of hotel and transfer packages available. Oh, baby. And they were really going hard on the website because the website is on this poster 3 times. It says download the
Really?
dog at the top, and then it says download festival once, and then underneath it in massive yellow letters it says downloadfestival.co.uk. So that this time they were really pushing the website because like 2003, 4, 5, 6 was kind of when everyone started to get online and MySpace and actually start going to websites. Well, that was what I was doing then anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I've got the map
Shall we-
up. I'm trying to zoom into it, but it doesn't want to zoom.
Oh.
I'll save it. All right. Yeah. No, it's not where I thought it was. I don't know where the extra stuff was. Oh, hang on. What's in here? No, it doesn't matter. Probably by the Snickers bowl.
yeah.
Have you got a map?
No.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about it at some point. Okay, right.
Yeah, okay. I'll kick it off. I'll go from on the NAP. So at this time at download, there were 3 stages.
And 3 days.
So the Napster stage,
This-
3 days, 3. Yeah.
Sorry, we didn't say it earlier, but this was the first year they had 3 days as well, and the Friday was classed as an indie day,
Oh.
and the Saturday was the Ozfest. It was actually Ozfest
was.
returned. Yeah,
Yeah, because Sabbath were playing.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. We should have said that. No, you're right. Good getting that info. This is good. So Napster stage, which would have been the 3rd stage. So in a small tent, obviously similar to what it is now. So you had Planet of Women, Crash Diet, Just a Word, Slunt, Colour of Fire, A Change of Pace, Tokyo Dragons, Hurricane Party, Raging Speedhorn, and Napalm Death headlining.
Yeah.
Now, how many of those, apart from the 2 bands that I know, do you think are still going as bands?
Well, there's one band on my list that isn't on yours, which is Paradise Lost.
Oh,
They played underneath.
Yeah,
Raging
okay.
Speedhorn. So there's 3.
yeah, I don't have that on mine. Okay.
We'll
Well,
come
obviously,
back to
if you
that.
listen to the podcast, you know how much of a huge Paradise Lost fan I am.
Yeah,
But
and I was
did
a
they play?
huge Paradise Lost fan at the time. This must be, I'm
Yeah.
sure I've said this before. Did I say it about, I don't think I said it about 2004 or whatever, but you remember I said, did I say this? I got there and I didn't realise they were playing until I borrowed somebody's lanyard. It must not have been on the poster, because they definitely did play, and it was one of the very early ones, and it's on the Wikipedia. So this must have been the year where I was like, oh, I did not know they were playing. This is going to be fucking amazing seeing them. And I got
I
right
definitely
to the
didn't know
front.
they were playing, which is why I didn't go and see them. Because obviously, yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, I've not heard of any of the... I think I've maybe heard of Tokyo Dragons.
Sounds familiar.
Well, I've just hovered over them. The Tokyo Dragons were a London-based hard rock band.
Yeah.
So they're not going anymore. Slunt. No, I don't know anything about them. I'm not going to go to too many of these.
I'm guessing that. Yeah, forget that. I'm guessing there's a lot of those that probably they were up and coming at the time, but I haven't heard of any of those apart from Raging Speedhorn, Napalm Death. And I think I heard of Tokyo Dragons, but
Yeah, but this is
I don't know.
just going off really briefly here. This is something I've wanted to look at in depth. I know I've said a few times on the show, but yeah, just have a look at all of these old bands and just look into them and see if they are going, and see if playing download helped them in any way a little bit, or maybe it hindered them, maybe it made them a bit too big-headed than they should have been. Well, obviously people probably aren't gonna. I think they might be able to say whether that happened or not, like in not hindsight, retro.
Yeah, retrospect.
You might have realised that.
Yeah, it'll be.
But yeah, it's definitely something that we will look into.
Be interesting. Yeah, it'd be good. I'd like to do that. I'd like to. This sounds like a big job, but go through all the download lineups and see how many bands have played download that aren't actually bands anymore. That would be interesting if someone wants to take the time to do that. Okay, so Snickers stage on the Friday, which would have been the second stage, but back then the second stage was in a tent.
Yeah.
It was not outside like it is today. It was in a bloody big tent. But it was in a tent, and I must say the atmosphere on the second stage was incredible back then. So, Ad, hit us up with the second stage on the Friday, bro.
So yeah, on mine it starts with flogging.
To be fair, flogging Molly and Fozzy right after each other are pretty hard ones to get in there.
Yeah, flogging Molly to start with, then Fozzy, then Lordy, then Under Oath, then Apocalyptica, The Bled, In Me, I'm going to say Romance because I'm going up, but it's My Chemical Romance. It's just on two different lines. The Used and Billy Idol. The Used were above My Chemical Romance.
Well, this is
that's interesting.
Literally just when My Chem were released. Well, I think it might have been just after they released their they done a first album, but the one that people consider to be their Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. After this, they went nuclear. Yeah. But oh god, The Used had been going for a number of years by this point. I think they were on their second album, so at the time they were deserved to be above My Chemical Romance. You wouldn't say that now. I personally, I like both of them. I prefer The Used personally to My Chem, but I like both. But I remember I watched Flogging Molly. So Flogging Molly are the first band I ever watched at Download, which is really weird because I don't like them at all. But I did enjoy them live because it was something new. But yeah, I saw Fozzy, Lordy, Apocalyptica, In Me, My Chem, and The Used. And then I went and watched Feeder.
Yeah.
So I spent most of my time on that second stage on that Friday because I was like, yes.
That does seem like a pretty good lineup. Even, I'm not a massive fan of a lot of those bands, but In Me are good.
Yeah, hell's
Well, no, I say we're good. I liked Underdose. I fucking loved Underdose.
Yeah, it's good.
I never really listened to much of their other stuff, but I probably would have gone to see them. I probably did go and see them. Like you said, My Chemical Romance, The Used. I loved The Taste of Ink at that point as well.
Yeah, this would have been a good time to see The Used.
Yeah.
Really good.
Obviously, would have seen Lordy. I was a big fan of Lordy. From Blood Red Sandman, a lot of people got into them after they won Eurovision.
Oh, no. God, no. Do you know what? It's really weird, actually. You just said that. My brother was saying this to me on New Year's because we were listening to Lordy. He goes, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, this proves how old we are, right? He's like, we were listening to Lordy in 2004. He's like, Devil is a Loser, Blood Red Sandman. He's like, all that stuff. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, and don't you remember we had the first Skindred album in 2002 before anyone was listening to Skindred? I was like, yes, I do. We're old school. Do you know what I mean? We get the first versions of the albums. That's some old school shit. We were in there first. But yeah, like you were saying about Lordy, you would have been listening to them. This was, when did they win Eurovision? 2006, 8?
I think they had won it by this point.
No. You are incorrect.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely later than
thought they won it-
2005.
I thought they won it like a month or two before they played. Maybe that was a different year.
2006, they won Eurovision.
Okay, so the year after this.
Yeah, a year after this. So yeah, so you are old school Lordy.
Maybe they had been announced for it then
Ah, okay.
at this point, because I remember lots of people seeing them and going, "Oh, they look amazing," and I'm like, "They are amazing." Like, but without trying to like this is I was a bit elitist back then and a bit like, yeah, I fucking got into them first. I'm better than you. I'm not like that anymore. But at the time, I was a bit like,
I was here first.
I know.
Leave this band
Yeah.
alone.
yeah.
You still get people
I
like that.
definitely had a lot of hype aversion.
Hmm.
Don't know if you heard of that.
What the fuck is that?
Hype. Well, if somebody goes nuts over a band, you're like, oh, I fucking don't like them anymore. Then because
Oh,
well,
I did have
I'm
that.
not going to get into them because you're hyping them up so much.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll get into my own stuff over here.
I had that so many times back in the day, and then I go back and listen to the bands now, and I'm like, why am I such an idiot? Why was I such an idiot? Just because loads of people liked it, I didn't want to like it because I thought it was cool, when I was just missing out on loads of good music, like an absolute cretin.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I'm with you, dude. Like, that's so stupid. I guess you only,
Yeah.
when you get a bit older than your early 20s,
still-
you realise.
We were still teenagers at this point.
Yeah.
You know,
We weren't teenagers in 2005.
I was 18 in 2000.
Okay,
I was
you
19
were.
in 2005.
You were. I wasn't. I think I was 20,
Yeah.
21, 20.
Pretty much teenager. There's not that much.
Do we have to mention our ages in this show? It puts people off when people realise that we're old. They don't know we could be young. We're really young. I'm having such a good time being 25. Are you?
I'm woke.
Oh yeah, it's great, good stuff. Let's move on quickly because we're taking too long to go through it. Right,
Yeah,
so it's all right.
Yeah. Who else do we have? Yeah. Sorry. Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
About
That was a good.
seeing people that
But I
day?
remember that being a
Okay.
very good first day for my first festival.
Sure. Yeah. So the Used and My Chemical Romance singers did a song together, didn't they? Which Under Pressure by Queen.
Oh yeah,
and they
of
were
course.
approached to do it because they were playing like right next to each other, but they had just fallen out only like a couple of months before this happened. So they were like, "Nah, we ain't doing it."
Never knew that. Look at that. He's
Nah,
hitting
cool.
you with facts. Okay, so
Yeah,
the
what's
main
next?
stage on the Friday, the 10th of June, was Queen Adrena, Wednesday 13, JJ72, The Others, Biffy Clyro, Megadeth, Dinosaur Jr., Garbage, and Feeder were the Friday headliners. Now, again, we spoke about this in 2004. To any of you moaning about Biffy Clyro headlining Download, they've been playing the festival since 2004. They have every right to headline this festival. They've literally played every single stage pretty much.
Didn't they? They played 2003, didn't they?
No, it was 4.
I think they. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was 4. Yeah, 3
All right, fair enough.
might have been too early for them, but they definitely played 4. But
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
I mean, but it
Go
is the indie day. We don't have an indie day anymore, do we? So we don't need them.
yeah. Get rid
I'm
of.
joking.
No, I get.
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
just being an asshole.
Yeah. It's probably what a lot of people are thinking.
I have no problem with them playing,
No.
honestly. But yeah, exactly like you said, they've been playing this long.
Yeah. Long time, man. It's a long time to be playing.
Worthy.
But I didn't watch anyone that day. I didn't watch Biffy. I didn't watch Megadeth. I just watched Feeder because I was on the other stage. Do you remember anything? Did you watch Feeder?
No.
You didn't.
I think I watched Wednesday 13, and I'm going to have a campsite fuckery later related to this day.
Okay.
I think it was this day. I'm not certain. So I will hold it until later.
Okay. All right. So let's move on quickly to the Saturday Napster stage. Go.
Saturday, Napster stage. Napster. Bloody hell.
I know. Old school.
SA Sanctuary, City on Fire, Quit Your Day Job, Diamond Nights, Crucified Barbara, Panic Cell.
Yes. Good band.
That's one of the only ones that doesn't have a Wikipedia on here. The Answer, The Gagas, Johnny Truant, Towers of London, The Explosion, Braid 77, The Lucky Nine, and Helmet. What do you remember from this day?
I can tell you right now that as I am now, I definitely would have seen Panic Cell, Breed 77, and Helmet. But I remember this time the second stage was far too good for me to miss anything that was going on there. So I didn't watch anything on this stage this day at all, unfortunately.
I don't think I did. I wasn't into Panic Cell at that point. No, there's nothing really there. One thing that it did remind me, a few episodes ago, I was trying to remember who toured with Funeral for a Friend and Hondo McLean, and I'm pretty sure it was Johnny Truant.
Oh, nice.
Am I thinking of them? Or unless they weren't on the that Slipknot Iowa tour, were they? Was it them?
I don't know.
I
don't really remember what Johnny Truant sounded like.
I wasn't really a big fan.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to them, because I think Johnny Truant had a song that was on Scuzz that I really, really liked at the time, and I've never been able to remember what it was. So now I can go through and actually try and find out what the song was. That's awesome.
Ah, yeah, that is awesome, man.
I'm going to go through later and see if I can find what that song was, but I'm pretty sure it was Johnny Truant. But anyway, forget that. I'll go through and do it. But yeah, that's cool, man. That's I see now I would watch there on that, but then as you'll see when I read out the second stage, this is mental. This is mental.
Yeah, go for it, man.
This is stupid. All right, so on the Snickers stage on the Saturday, you had the harp. On the Saturday Snickers stage, you had the Hurt Process, American Head Charge, Every Time I Die, Open Hand, Unearth, Meshuggah, Bullet for My Valentine, Lamb of God, Chimera, In Flames. Now that is one of the most insane stages of metal
there's a couple more on mine actually.
Ever seen. Really? Okay.
It starts with Three Children of Fortune.
Okay.
And then Hondo McLean above them.
Oh, okay. That's not on. We've obviously got two different versions of the. Yeah. This is the only high res one I could get. I remember I didn't watch American Head Charge because I'd seen them like 2 months before support Rammstein. I think we might have been doing something else, but I literally for this, I remember I watched Meshuggah. No, I watched Unearth, Meshuggah, Bullet, Lamb of God, Chimera, In Flames, all in a row on that stage. Like now, to me, I would still consider that to be a dream lineup. Like, if someone said to me, write down one of your like dream lineups, that could possibly be my dream metal lineup. Like, it's insane.
I think. So I don't think I watched many of them. But I think I did see In Flames. I think this might have been the first time I saw In Flames. And I was not impressed.
What? I remember saying at the time that this is nuts. They were so good.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think I've never been overly impressed by them live.
Okay.
I absolutely loved them. I wouldn't be able to put my finger on why. But yeah, I wasn't there. I wasn't impressed.
That's fair enough, man.
But yeah, I don't know why.
That's fair enough. I'm literally going to make an Unearth, Meshuggah, Bullet, Lamb of God, Chimera, In Flames playlist.
Yeah,
because that just sounds amazing. So yeah, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on. I'll stop fanboying over that lineup, although it's mental. Adam, please tell us what happened on the Ozfest Saturday, 11th of June main stage lineup, please.
Well, I mean, it's a Trivium Day, isn't it, that we just talked about, and oh my god, how good they were. Mm-hmm. I don't remember much about seeing them now, but and if you'd asked me if I remember seeing them in 2005, I would have been like, I fucking know. But from watching the video earlier, I do remember it. I remember that surge. It wasn't a surge. It was running. Like people just sat around scattered, and then when they came on, people were running past you. It was like, oh, I better run as well so I can get to the stage. So I will get around to watching some more videos of as much as I can from this year, and I probably will talk about more of more of the stuff I saw. But yeah, that Trivium one, it was good.
Yeah, really good.
He looked funny as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
See how long his hair was.
they were young, man. They were so young.
Yeah,
They were literally babies back then.
yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I need to. Oh, dearie me. The other bands were the Dwarves, the Mad Capsule Markets, Bowling for Soup, Alter Bridge, Anthrax, Him, Velvet Revolver, and Black Sabbath.
Good
and
lineup.
So I assume you didn't spend much time over here.
No. Although I was a huge Him fan at the time. Really liked Alter Bridge. I've always been a great fan of Mad Capsule Markets. Obviously, we snuck out for Bowling for Soup. That was in between one of the bands, so I probably missed one or two songs from one of the other bands. But yeah, I remember In Flames finished and Sabbath was still going on, so we watched a little bit of Sabbath from memory. But the rest of the day, yeah, I didn't see anything apart from Trivium and Alter Bridge. Do you have any other memories of anything on there?
Yeah, I remember seeing the Mad Capsule Markets. And now looking at that, I'm pretty sure I would have been there like the whole day. Like I said, I remember seeing Bowling for Soup because of the giant lambs.
Yeah.
Or sheep.
Sheeps.
I would have been there for Anthrax. Alter Bridge, I was not a big fan, but I probably would have stuck around, waited for Anthrax. I quite enjoyed Him at the time. Not too much of their stuff. I didn't really know too much, but yeah, I think I would have stuck around. I know Jacob, who was on before, he was in love with Velvet Revolver because Slash was in it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, not because Slash was in it, but yeah, he did enjoy them. Maybe partly because Slash was in it, and so I mean, well, no, I enjoyed a couple of songs that they released. So yeah, we definitely would have been there for them, and Black Sabbath. Yeah, we wouldn't have gone anywhere for Black Sabbath. So yeah, I probably spent most of my day there.
Still not a bad day to spend Saturday, is it at all? Like the lineup, like
No,
this whole lineup's, overall, you look at all the like big bands that are spread out across all these stages. It's absolutely insane. This lineup in total, and that day was just insane. Anyway, so we'll move on to the.
I expect there's a lot of people that are more sort of hardcore fans than I am, or maybe not you, but that would have really struggled to decide which bands to see on that day.
Yeah,
there's a lot of clashes.
Oh, even looking at it now, I'm like, looking back, I'm like, shit. And then I look back at the next day and I'm like, oh man, in hindsight, there's like so many clashes going on this festival. At the time, I just made my decision and lived with it. But when you look back in hindsight, I'm like, oh, should I have gone there? Should I have watched them? Damn. But anyway, so...
take us through
the
next one.
Yes, so on the Sunday, on the Napster stage, we had Acid Tone, No Hope in New Jersey, Still Remains, 3 Inches of Blood, Engerica, The Saints, Feeble Wiener, The Glitterati, Trivium, but they got moved, Dresden Dolls, Beeline Disaster, 80s Matchbox Beeline Disaster, Team Sleep, and Therapy headlining. There's some decent bands in there.
Yeah, Henry Rollins opened up that one as well, according to this.
Oh, okay.
I think, was that his spoken word show?
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I do remember that being announced now. It seems like such a long time ago now for me to remember that. But
okay, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Henry Rollins must have opened that shit up. But I mean, dude, look at that. I mean, this is weird, right? Do you think Trivium's rise to like sort of craziness in this country would have been different if they'd played that third stage rather than the first main stage? Do you think downloads genuinely had like an impact on? Because I honestly think they would say, especially for the UK, that show they played on the Saturday had a huge impact on them here anyway.
Yeah, it probably did. Well, I mean, look at the other bands that are there.
Mm.
Oh, Still Remains. Still Remains is that one that... No, Rise Against. I'm getting confused with Rise
Still
Against.
Remains were good. 3 Inches of Blood are good. Obviously, Trivium are good. Team Sleep was Chino from Deftones' side project, and Therapy are really good.
Okay.
So there is loads of good bands there. Like now,
Yeah.
if that was just a stage at a random festival, I would go there and be like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So, but then obviously there's a lot of bands in there. I don't know who they are or if they're even still going. But
No,
I'm
I've
guessing
heard of-
none of us went to that
And-
stage on that day.
Well, I think, again, I know Jacobs was a big fan of 3 Inches of Blood
Mm.
because they had one song on one of the Kerrang CDs or one of the those CDs you get with magazines, and I quite enjoyed that one. I can't remember what it's called now. But yeah, Jacobs absolutely fell in love with them because of that, so I'm sure we would have gone to that.
Mm.
But yeah, there's not much else there that I really know. Still Remains, maybe we would have gone to see them. But no, I wouldn't have stuck around for the rest of it.
No. Well, tell
No.
us what happened on the Snickers stage, dude, on the last day of Download 2005.
It was opened by the Mascara Story, the band I said that won the Snickers thing earlier.
That's pretty cool.
Live thing. I've already said it. If you're here and you haven't heard that, it's weird. Go back and listen to it. Paramedics, send more paramedics. Gizmachi, As I Lay Dying, Caliban, Helmut, Shadows Fall, Mastodon, Lacuna Coil, Funeral for a Friend, DKT/MC5. I have no fucking clue who that is. And Motorhead.
Nice.
Anything there you want to talk about?
I remember hearing the band name Send More Paramedics and thinking that was a really great band name. No idea what they actually sounded like. I was a huge Caliban fan at the time, but I didn't go and see them because the main stage was just too good. Obviously, Mastodon playing that sick. Helmet playing again, even though they headlined the stage. Headlined the
Oh yeah.
third stage the night before. So, well, fair play to them.
That's weird.
Lacuna Coil, awesome. Obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing them this year. And obviously, Motorhead. Of course,
Yeah.
But I definitely didn't watch them because the main stage was just again. It's just the lineup is just mental, and I mean mental.
Looking at that main stage, I would not have left that stage. I don't think.
Okay,
With anybody I
should
would
I
have
do
seen
the main
here.
stage?
Maybe Funeral for a Friend. I don't know. I did see. I had to come up with my comment in my memories the other day. Because I said last time we spoke, I said I haven't seen Funeral for a Friend since like 2003 or something. But
Yeah.
I did. I saw them in 2013, I think it was.
Oh, nice.
So it wasn't too long ago. It wasn't as long ago as I thought.
No, that's still quite long ago, but not as long as like 2003,
Yeah,
13. That's a
yeah.
big difference.
Cool. Yeah, let's go to main stage then, because
so-
we can talk about this.
Yeah, so Sunday, 12th of June. This is insane. This is just mental. I mean, hold on, wait. Yeah, I mean, Bear Slayer who aren't going. This could pretty much happen today. So, opening we had DV8. Don't know who they were. Society 1, Mudvayne, Papa Roach, Killswitch Engage, Nightwish, Slayer, Slipknot, System of a Down. That's nuts.
Yeah.
And I was there for every second of that stage because I remember standing there the whole day and not leaving at all.
Nice.
Oh, no, actually,
Yeah.
no. I did. I left when Nightwish were playing and I saw Funeral for a Friend. No. No, I left when Slayer were playing and I watched Funeral for a Friend.
Okay. I might have done the same.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, yeah, cool. And I did like Slayer, but I was super into Funeral for a Friend at the time. And yeah, I remember I left Slayer, went for Funeral for a Friend, and then came back for Slipknot.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we pretty much done exactly the same thing. Cause I
maybe,
remember they had
yeah.
the album cover for Hours. That was their backdrop on the second stage. It was Hours hadn't been out that long at this point.
Which one was ours?
The
that was
second one
after,
with the school
what-
kid on the cover.
Yeah.
The one that
Okay,
you listened
why
to
am
and
I-
you said you really liked and you should have listened to at the time.
What's Confessions? Is that the third one? Confessions, something like that? Is that what it's called? No? Am I completely out now?
You're naming a song from the second album.
Ah.
So there's that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
the album was called Hours.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it was that one
Okay.
with the school kid on the front. Yeah, that's what they had as their
Like a
backdrop.
blue background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one. So yeah, I mean that's a killer. They could have that today, obviously, bar Slayer, who aren't going. You could literally have Mudvayne, P-Roach, Killswitch, Nightwish, Slipknot, and System of a Down all play a gig. Although Slipknot and System of a Down now would definitely be switched. There's no way
Yeah.
Slipknot would support System. It would definitely be the other way around.
So yeah, I definitely would have seen Mudvayne and definitely would have seen Papa Roach.
The whole Papa Roach gig is on YouTube.
I was about to say that.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to watch it earlier as well, but
It's
I ran out of
really
time.
good.
Is
I
it?
watched it, not too long ago. It's really good. Yeah, he's
Awesome.
always great. Like they're just such a good band. His energy levels. Who knows how he? I mean, then we know he was an alcoholic, but now he's not. So I don't know how he still keeps his energy levels that high. But yeah, it's a fucking great gig that was.
Yeah, System of a Down. Talk to me about them. I think that there is at least a song, maybe it's the whole set on YouTube as well, and they have the 3 massive rugs
Yes.
underneath them. Did they have those massive rugs again when they played 2011? Was it 2011 they played next?
I
Which
have
was
no
2009?
idea. But I do remember the rugs because they were in all the shots, and then they obviously, I've watched the YouTube videos since. I don't
Yeah.
remember them having them after that. Maybe someone could tell us different. I mean, I saw them last at Download in 2017, and I don't remember them having rugs. Maybe they
Yeah.
do. I don't know.
But I just kind of remember those big rugs, but being in the new arena.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird. Like maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Maybe I'm remembering it from 2005. But yeah, it just my memory of seeing those rugs was in the new arena. So I've either got something mixed up there, or
Yeah.
they did have them.
Yeah, I don't remember them having them after, but I definitely remember them having them then. So yeah, maybe it's just seared into your mind, and they didn't have them. But we can investigate that for next time.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't a huge fan of them at this point. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Because this was after. Was this after? No, before even Mesmerized came out.
Which one came first?
Mesmerized, then Hypnotized, but they were both in the same year.
Yeah,
We
because
went over this before.
BYOB had come out at this point,
Oh, had it?
so whatever album that's on was definitely out at this point.
Okay, right, yeah. Oh, that was Mesmerized.
Yeah,
that was,
so-
good album then. I've gone over that before.
Yeah, so
So maybe I did like them at the time, but I
Yeah.
didn't know any of their other stuff, so I wasn't overly enthused by them, and they didn't really. I mean, I was going to say they didn't impress me, but
see, I didn't like those two albums nearly half as much as I liked the first one and Toxicity. Those albums still to this day all the way through. And I like them, Hypnotized Mesmerized, a lot more now than I actually did at the time. I liked the singles, but I wasn't too keen on the album tracks that much. But I think the first album, System of a Down and Toxicity, are like incredible all the way through. Like, wow. That's why they got
I
so
don't think
big, because they were so
I haven't
good.
listened to them,
Yeah. Oh, dude.
not properly.
Just listen to War off the first album and Sugar, and you'll be like,
So I know Sugar.
I'm going to touch my penis now because this is so good.
I remember a friend of ours, Mike Ferris. He was a big fan, and he was waiting for Sugar and Pogo. Is it Pogo?
Yeah,
Pogo,
yeah.
Pogo, Pogo.
Bounce, pogo, pogo, pogo. Great.
Sugar, Pogo. There's another one similar that's very, very quick and well. I mean, probably a lot of the stuff is.
Yeah.
Can't remember what the other one was though, but
Oh, they played everything though. I remember because they obviously it was a headline set, but at the time, they only had like 3-4 albums out, so they just played pretty much everything. It was great. I remember it being like I said, System are good. I think the last time I saw them, they looked like they really didn't want to be there. They looked really lazy in 2017. They were still good. The music was great. But if you looked at them energy-wise, they were like, we are just getting paid for this gig. I'm not going to move. It was like, really sorry to everyone if that was your first time seeing System, but it definitely wasn't as good as they were in 2005. Sorry to burst your bubble. But yeah, I'm not saying that just because it was a long time ago. They genuinely were mental. And they used to go mental on stage then, and obviously now they're they're old guys, so fair enough. But yeah, they did look bored the last time I saw them. So I was. That's why, when they got announced for download and then taken off, I was actually happy about that, because I was like, okay, system, I'll watch them, very good. But the last time I saw them, they looked very bored with the music they've been playing for 15 years. So, yeah, that was a bit of a letdown. But oh well, that's not Babylon. But yeah, I mean, generally overall,
I think.
Go on.
Staying with system.
Go on.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't remember them interacting with the crowd very much, talking very much. They just got out, played their stuff, which again, like you said, it was very good technically. It sounded good, but it just didn't feel like a headlining band, because you want headlining bands to talk to the crowd and to sort of get the crowd going. Not that they had to, but that's what I think I remember. Unless I'm thinking about the next time they played again, like I said, I might be getting the two mixed up.
Yeah, no, they were great. They were great, but I don't think they were interacting too much. I know they were just, I don't know, they just looked like they had more fun back then. But maybe by 2011 they were still having fun. But by 2017 they definitely weren't. They definitely weren't.
There are some bands that we missed off.
Go on.
From the Snickers Bowl stage, there weren't many bands.
Okay.
So I'll go through all of them through all the days. On the Friday, there was Tat, Ellis, and the Mascara Story. Snickers Bowl stage, I think you're going to like this one. Reuben. I have a feeling you like
Great
them.
band. Yeah.
Days of Worth and Fast Lane. And on the Sunday, Electric Eel Shock, the Suffragettes, and Johnny Panic.
Oh, okay, nice. But Days of Worth had
some
some tunes.
Yeah?
Yeah, they were really good. I liked them at the time. I'm going to get some of their old videos up as well. I might have to make an old school 2005 playlist.
Cool. But yeah, just going back to what you were going to say, like, overall.
So I was just going to say, like, overall, like, not just because this is the one of the, for the first time I went, I think I done like a ratings on my YouTube of overall lineups. This is still to this day one of the strongest, looking back in retrospect, insane lineups that they got all these bands to play this weekend. Like, it's mental. It's like top 5. Insane. Yeah. If this was a gig now, if you took this exact lineup, changed obviously some of the small bands for bands that aren't, bands anymore, and changed them for, like, up and coming bands, Sleep Token, Holding Absence, Higher Power, all the Spirit Box, all the bands now, this would be an insane
As everything unfolds.
Festival. As everything unfolds.
That was the one from earlier. Sorry.
New bands.
Yep.
This guy's getting into new music, people. This is not the guy that I met last year. This is a different person.
Yeah, no, I fucking love their stuff. I heard them on, heard the singer on Sappenin podcast, and so I listened to them.
Nice.
I really like their stuff. Carry on. You were saying.
Sorry. So yeah, no problem. You chimed in, and like you just said, people were waiting for this the whole podcast. They weren't listening to anything we were saying. They were just waiting for you to randomly shout a band at me, like I said earlier. So it's fine. But yeah, overall, like I said, in my eyes certainly, and I know a lot of people that commented that we'll talk about now, or in a bit, that everyone was just like, even people that didn't go, they were like, wow, I wish I went to this. Like, shit, I never got to go, but this lineup's insane. Like, it is just mental lineup. Yeah. But yeah, really good. I had a great time.
Because if you think about it, at the time, I think Scuzz and Kerrang were really big as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember how good the internet was back then, but I don't think you couldn't. I'm pretty sure you couldn't just get music at the touch of a button like you can now. So when you're watching Scuzz and Kerrang, a lot of these bands would have been on there a lot.
Oh, definitely.
So they were some of the biggest bands. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, with this lineup is pure Scuzz. Like,
yeah.
I knew a lot of these bands from Scuzz, like Bullet, Trivium. I could go through the lineup and say, I knew them because Scuzz were playing the videos at the time, and I was like, sick, these are good. And then I'd go out and buy the CD, or it'll be on a Metal Hammer CD or whatever. Like, that was where I got a lot of shit from back in the day. Classic. But yeah, overall, amazing. So let's go to the people, and I'll reiterate this like I did earlier. We put this up on the download group, and normally we get our stuff taken down because they're not allowed self-promotion. But we literally had 109 comments on this. It was insane.
I thought it was more than that.
I counted 109. I mean, that's a lot.
Oh, maybe I wasn't sure.
Don't count comments under comments, just the first comment.
Right.
So if you were to add up all the rest of the comments, people commenting on other people's comments, that's nuts. But I was just counting the first time people commented. Like, there's one just come up now, 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So that's 110. So, like, there you go. So we had 110 replies. So again, thank you for everyone. If you listen to this for the first time, thank you very much for sticking with us. We have loads more podcasts, as you can see if you're listening to this on Spotify or wherever it is. But thanks for sticking with us, and thank you very much for commenting on the post, because it was great to have interaction with people. It was really cool. Like I said, I tried to write back and speak to as many people as I can, and I'm not going to read out everyone's now. We might do it over the next few weeks if we can, or I don't know. But
we said we were going to do. Well, I said let's do them for Campsite Fuckery. So shall we bring Campsite Fuckery in? We're back. We haven't done it for a little while now.
Let's do Campsite Fuckery.
Campsite Fuckery is a section of the show where we talk about any funny, strange, or interesting things that you guys have seen at Download Festival. Not necessarily just in the campsite, but wherever. You can share your memories with us, and I'll let you know where you can do that at the end of the show. I think that's good enough. Yeah, that was a bit off of what I normally say, but yeah. Simon. Oh, should I say mine first quickly?
Go on then.
Because again, I probably would end up forgetting it, and then you can go through some of yours. So I was saying about Tribune. I think it was the Friday of this year. An old friend of mine who, I'm sure it was this year. He called in sick. He worked at Sainsbury's at the time, and he called in sick to go to Download.
Nice.
And but he had to call in sick again on the Friday. So we were in the arena, sat just on the grass before the band had come on, and he phones his work up, and he said he's on the phone. Somebody starts sound checking. It wasn't time for the band yet, so we thought I'd get it in now. And someone's it's like, oh yeah, I won't be able to come into work today. I'm sick. And somebody's whacking drums on the stage. What are you doing? Bye. I don't know how it went. I just remember it happening, and it was hilarious.
That's incredible. That's a great one, dude. I wonder if anyone else has had that, trying to call in sick. What's that big noise in the background? Don't worry about it. I'm genuinely sick.
I don't know. I have a feeling it was later than this, but there's not many other times I was in the arena ready for the first bands to come on. So it was around this time anyway, definitely. What have you got from us,
Okay, so I'll read some stuff off that you guys gracefully sent in to us. So thank you very much for that, like I just said before. So first of all, let's read up for, I think this was the first comment we had. So from Scott Charlotte, big up the man. He said, first year I went for the Sunday only. I was only 15. I lost all my mates and ended up in welfare because I had a panic attack when I couldn't find a ride home. And I thought I was going to be stuck in Donington forever. Mobile phones weren't as common back then, but apart from that, System of a Down put on a performance I will never forget. So awesome. That's good. Turn up, 15, find yourself in the welfare. To be fair, there's probably a lot of 15-year-olds having a panic attack at that festival.
Yeah.
From either doing too many drugs or whatever the hell.
Or not enough.
Or not enough, yeah. They were left out, so they were feeling panicky about it. I apologise if I get anyone's names wrong, by the way, because I can read partially. So from Richard Lusuis Meredith, he said, my first download, I remember Nightwish being late on, meaning I missed the Dresden Dolls, seeing Lordy in the Snickers stage, and it feeling like the ground was shaking every time he stomped his foot. I remember being in the pit for Megadeth, and I got destroyed. I was with my mum and stepdad, and they spoke about sitting on the hill watching Slipknot. They are not metalheads at all, but they did enjoy their weekend.
Oh, nice.
So that's fantastic. Thanks, Richard. That would have been great. Your parents just sitting there going, do you know what? This band with the masks on going mental are quite good. Like, what the hell is
remember
this?
But when I played in a band once, both my parents and my sister came to watch us, and they were sort of stood at the back going, "What the fuck is this?" Sort of thing. Bit heavy. What's he saying?
What? Shh, don't worry about
I
it.
really wanted them to come and see me and support me at the time, but when they turned up, and it was a kind of realization of they don't have a clue what this kind of music's about.
Don't know what's going on. When you're out the loop and you get introduced to it, you're probably just like, what is this devil music? It's just shouting into a microphone. Another one from Sharon Wisby. She said, my first download. Remember watching Queen Adrena drinking red wine out the bottle, loving the family atmosphere sing-along to Wednesday 13. The reason we went to see Velvet Revolver, being blown away by their performance. Yeah, because like everyone said they were really good that weekend. Even though I didn't watch them, I heard people saying that afterwards.
Yeah.
We were a bit nervous of the crowd for Slipknot, but then we found that they were the nicest band. Loved every minute of their set. Walking back from the second stage of the sun setting, listening to Feeder, just makes me smile. The death metal throwing up competition right outside our tent.
Oh dear.
Death metal throwing up competition. Oh my god, that would have been something to witness. And she said, so many happy memories. We walked in normal and came out as rock queens. So thank you, Sharon, for that. That's fantastic. I really would have liked to have witnessed that thrown up contest. That would have been amazing. Another one from Alan Hunter. My second year and also the first year of the Aftershock tent. A lot of people have said Aftershock tent in their comments, and I don't remember it, which is so strange because a lot of people seem to remember it. And he said, that's all I remember. Ha ha ha. Now, I also remember falling out of the toilets into mud, which by Saturday was mostly pee. God knows what else.
Well, it was so dry. So it would have been.
He said no one cheered. They all just said, ah. Fastest, drunkest walk to the showers ever. Made it back for Sabbath. Good times. So thanks, Alan. That's awesome, man. It's really great to have people's comments and all this stuff. This one's from Ange Willingham. She said, Sunday afternoon, my wonderful best friend Claire Lee, and she tagged her in it, and they started speaking about loads of stuff afterwards. Having not previously listened to much, wanted to know why heavy metal is awesome and why I loved it so much. Starting with Slayer, we entered the crowd right at the back, and over the course of the afternoon, moshed our way through the beautiful melee, stomped through Slipknot, and eventually subtle, dusty, and dripping with sweat front row for System of a Down. No further explanation needed to suffice to say that she was hooked forevermore. And I said to her in the comments after, I was like, you took her to Slayer to start her off. Like Slayer and then Slipknot. That's insane. But it obviously sounds like she was turned by that point. But thanks, Ange. Thanks for that. That's awesome. I'll just read a couple more because, like I said, we'll go through some eventually. Getting on. I'll read some of the shorter ones as well because you guys were just so great. Doing these. I'm sorry I can't go through everyone's. I'm literally just picked them at random. We got Sarah Blunt, who said, nearly dying during System, lol. First time I'd ever crowd surfed, and it was not pleasant. Also, the first and only time that I got to the barrier during Feeder. Decided from then on I'd rather be able to move. So I'm guessing she didn't go back to the barrier after that point. And laughing at all the dudes trying to get a glimpse of Shirley Manson's pants. But the absolute queen had shorts on under her dress. Because she knew there was just going to be a load of perverts there. And she just put crying faces. So thanks, Sarah. That's awesome. We got one from Jean Potts Atkinson. She said, my only download was there on the Saturday, absolutely brilliant. And then she sent a picture of herself with a Black Sabbath t-shirt on, standing in front of the main stage. So it's cool to see people's photos because we've talked about this before. The early years, there's not too much evidence from people because no one had phones. You had to bring a disposable camera or a digital camera, which at the time were quite pricey, so you wouldn't necessarily have one. But I think I spoke to her a bit more about this, and she said that was with a disposable camera. So thanks, Jean. Thanks for the photo as well. Sean Allen said, I will always remember the huge circle pits at the main stage when Trivium played. Thanks, Sean. Paul Sash said, was great. I think I know I was there, but that's about it. So he's probably got about the same memories that we do.
Not too much different to us, yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for that, Paul. And King's George was like, I was there, my first Download Festival when I was 14. Wow, what an experience that must have been. Nothing
Yeah.
can top that lineup because it was just very good. I like that Chris Blackman has just written, Timmy! Do you remember everyone doing that at the time? No one does that anymore, but Timmy
Yeah,
was
no,
was a huge thing.
There's another one. Oh, sorry, you're going to read it some more?
No, go on. What were you going to say?
I'll talk up it. So there was another one. There was a lot at the time, but very early. So I'm Spartacus was one, but there was another one. People were shouting, I'm Debbie McGee. I don't know why. I don't know where it was from,
Really? I don't remember
but
that.
I've never heard anybody else talking about it since, really. But I'm sure I heard it for a few years.
I don't know where that's from.
No,
I'm going to
no.
research that and see what it was.
Yeah, I'm Debbie McGee. That's it. That's
What
all it
that
was.
from? I don't remember that. We'll find out. We'll plan something into it. I'll just read a few more now. Richard Williams, he wrote the plane flight. I messaged him back on this because I was like, I missed that so much. He said, sorry, Richard Squiddy Williams. The plane flying
Cool.
over as Ozzy came on. I think it was War Pigs. It was like part of the show. Amazing. And I wrote back to it. I missed the planes going over the stage, man. Like, I
Yeah.
missed that. It was so like epic. Like everyone would look up and you just see this plane going right over the flight path. So yeah, thanks for that, Richard. Josh McCarthy wrote, "Great year that was." Harvey North wrote, "It was bloody freezing at night. That's for sure." I don't remember it being that cold, but yeah, I don't. I remember it being boiling in the day, but I don't remember it being that cold at night.
Yeah, but I'd imagine if it's hot during the day, there'll be no cloud cover to keep the warmth in, or keep
Yeah.
it down low. So yeah, well, it just fucks off into the atmosphere.
A lot of
cold
people
again.
have written dust tornadoes because
Yeah,
that 05 and 06 was just pure, like when you went back to your tent and wiped yourself after being at stages, it was just black because there was just dust absolutely everywhere because it was just like no water. I think it rained for about 2 minutes the whole
Yeah.
of those 2 weekends. And I'll just pick one at random. Okay, and I'll finally finish off with Luke Gilborn. My first ever crowd surf was this year to Mad Capsule Markets. Some guy tried to steal my shoe and it was hanging off my toes, but I managed to flick it into my hand and throw it over the barrier and then get it
Oh,
when
that's
security
nice.
grabbed me. This guy was pulling out some moves, man, when he was crowd surfing.
Yeah.
He just wrote, "Mad Caps were fucking sick."
Yeah.
So like I said, we'll read some more comments in the some upcoming episodes. Obviously, I can't read out everyone. Sorry, guys. It's just
No, there
too
were a
many to
lot.
do now. But I've read through them, and I appreciate everyone sending stuff in to us. It's great, and thank you to everyone that's liked the page and obviously is listening to the podcast as well. We did not. I thought, oh yeah, we'll get 3 or 4, and I'll read them
Yeah.
out. I'll read them all out in the podcast. I was not expecting like 110 replies. So yeah.
yeah, that was amazing.
Thanks. Yeah,
Um,
awesome.
I want to
Great
say
stuff.
a big thank you as well to everybody who replied to your stuff. I was told I wasn't allowed to read them, so I couldn't come on and read through them and like your stuff. And obviously you were saying thank you as you were going through them. I thought I'll just wait to the end to thank everybody who has done, because I wanted this bit to be one of the main parts of the show. Wanted to be the bit that people look forward to, and we haven't really had much so far. So I'm hoping it brings some people in doing that as well, and new people to come and listen and share your stuff with us, because you've obviously heard in this episode there's a lot that we don't remember.
Yeah, if you guys have anything you want to say about, if this is the first time you're listening, is anything you want to say about any of the shows previously, just message us or stick it on the page or whatever, and we will talk about it on the show. This is what this part is for. It's for people's memories of Download, things people want to ask us about Download, what you guys thought or what you saw, anything crazy, anything really. It's so great interacting with people, and that's why, like Adam said, we want to make this one of the main bits of the show going forward. So yeah, friggin' awesome. Thank you guys. Rock on, man.
Definitely, yeah. Thank you everybody who commented on your post. So one thing I was thinking about, I'll forget about it. One last thing from me on that. I'm pretty sure it was the Ozfest. Actually, they had like a golden circle. Only
yeah,
certain
you
people
said
could
that
get.
before, yeah.
Yeah, and I know a guy who, the 2002 Ozfest, not the Ozfest on a Saturday that we're talking about today. But yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm going to load up on Imodium. Is it Imodium that blocks you up? And he's like, right, I'm going to go to the front of the stage and I'm going to stay there all day. And so he was taking stuff to make himself not need the toilet. And I wonder how
Mental.
many people do that. I've not really heard anybody else who does it.
I've never heard of anyone doing that. That sounds insane. That literally
Yeah.
sounds mental.
Yeah, that's crazy. But anyway, yeah. So that's let's say that's the end of campsite fuckery for this week. We should probably start to close up the episode here as well. It's getting a bit. It's getting on a bit. Next episode, or the next few episodes, we want to get into the music industry a little bit more. Take a deep dive into record labels, record deals that you can get, maybe crowdfunding. We've said before, if we just go through every year of Download Festival, we'll get through it really quickly and then run out of stuff to talk about. So we can keep this campsite fuckery going up through those, and so we should be able to get through the most of the comments that you've received. So that'll be nice.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I just did a lot of talking. Is there anything else you want to add on to?
What I
I've
would
just
say,
said?
just quickly tack on to the end. Like I said at the beginning, I went to the Golden God Awards literally the day after Download on the Monday night
In 2005?
in 2005.
You messaged me that the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, and I just quickly...
I thought you meant recently.
No,
You'd
I meant
just
in
been to-
2005.
Yeah,
I just
cool.
really quickly want to read out who the winners were at the Golden Gun Awards in 2005.
Cool.
All right,
Yeah,
so
don't-
I remember on the night, it was Anthrax, Nightwish, Shadows Fall, Bullet, and Trivium all played like 2 songs each, I think, on the
nice.
night. So it was fucking awesome. Like, what a way to cap off the Download. But here we go. So the winners, best UK band was Lost Prophets. Best live band, Slipknot. Best label, Roadrunner.
Yeah. of course.
Definitely were at the time. It was nuts. Best newcomer, Nightwish. Best
They
video,
weren't
Mike.
really a
Gone?
newcomer at that point, I suppose. Is it UK
Maybe they-
Golden God Awards?
Yeah, just break. It was the UK 1 minute.
Yeah.
Best video, My Chemical Romance, Helena. That is a sick video. Spirit of Hammer Award, Black Sabbath.
Spirit of Hammer.
Spirit of Hammer Award, because it was just,
Cool.
Spirit of Metal Hammer.
Yeah.
The Metal Hammer icon, Vil Vallo.
Right.
The Riff Lord, Zach Wilde. Young Guitar was the Dimebag tribute. I don't know what that was. Best international band, The Used. Best
Yeah,
album,
okay.
Judas Priest, Angel of Retribution. Best metal band, Anthrax. And Lemmy got the Golden God Award. Deserved.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just
interesting.
a tack on the end. I remember being there. I was
Yeah.
in a room with all these people, which was insane.
Yeah, nice.
And I just remember being absolutely blown away. Just down, my mind has just been blown with Download, and then I went to this the night after.
Yeah.
It was almost untoppable. But yeah, anyway, so I just wanted to tack that on at the end and give you a real lowdown of 2005.
Cool. What else do we do when we're going? I've said
We
what we'll
say
do in
things.
Next episode, yeah, we do. Yeah, well, again, we just want to thank everybody who's shown us any kind of support so far. Like you said, with anybody who's even listened to one episode. If there's anything you want to reach out to us about, like I said, with stories for campsite fuckery or anything else, like I'm going to call you Soren then. Anything else like Simon said. We got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Dear Download or Dear Download Podcast. Sure, quite easy to find by now if you just search. You can email us, which is deardownload2003. That's 2003 at gmail.com. Like we said, thank you. I want to thank everybody. Thank you all for listening. Anything else from you, Simon, at this point?
No, I'm going to be doing a lot on YouTube this time because obviously it's coming into festival season isn't too far away. So
Yeah.
I'm Simon Bond on YouTube. If you want to go there, I'm going to be doing loads of videos leading up to all the festivals, loads of stuff. I got tons of stuff planned. So yeah, go to my YouTube and check stuff out. A lot of the stuff we speak about on the show, and some of it we don't. But please go check me out. And Fonzie_Simon on Instagram. Love you.
Cool. What about you still streaming games on Tuesdays?
No.
No. Okay. Well, Simon doesn't stream anymore, so don't worry about that. And we're obviously still growing. Thank you to anybody who has joined us for the first time. We say it every episode. If you can tell your friends about us, that would be absolutely insane. It means so much more to us than you realise, because there's only so much we can do on social medias. So your help, immeasurably good. I can't think of the right words there, but I think I might keep that bit in because that sounds good. Yeah, my brain's gone. Like I said right at the beginning, I've managed to. I think I did quite well getting this far, but it's gone. So
it's food. His brain's all pizza, people. It's all pizza and blueberries. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, so we are definitely gonna go right now. So that is a goodbye from Simon.
Goodbye.
And a goodbye from me. Goodbye.